Hello and welcome to my channel, Charlotte and Face. Today I'm back with another anime video, and today I'm going to be talking about my favourite anime films. So let's get started. So the first film I want to talk about is The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, that came out in 2006. It's a drama romance sci-fi film. Our main character is Kono Makoto, who quite early on in the film acquires the ability to leap backwards in time. She can only travel backwards in time. She has these two male friends in the film, and she also has a younger sister. Her and the two male friends spend a lot of their time playing baseball. And initially, Makoto uses this power just to make her life a bit easier. If she wakes up late for school, she will leap backwards in time and wake up on time. If her sister eats some of her food, she will leap back in time and eat the food before her sister can eat it. So she uses it for kind of very minor things at first. However, as the film goes on, she uses it for more significant things. There is a bit of a twist in this film. I won't reveal what that twist is because I don't want this video to include spoilers, but I do think it's a really good film. I can't say much about the premise without revealing too much, but that's an overview of what happens in the film. Now on to personal things that I liked. I think the characters are really relatable and just very realistic, normal kind of characters. Makoto is just a normal girl. Her friends are normal school students. Her family is pretty average. And it's just about an unremarkable person who acquires a pretty remarkable skill. The visuals in the story are very nice. The sketch style and animation is quite simplistic, but I like that. Sometimes less is more. The pace of the story is really, I don't know why I'm doing that. The pacing of the story is very good. There's no scenes where kind of nothing happens. And yeah, that's what I like about The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. So the next film that I have on my list of favourite anime films is Patima Inverted, that came out in 2013, and it is a sci-fi film. So a little bit about the story. Patima is the princess of her town. The town is situated underground and everyone lives in confined spaces in these tunnels under the earth. Patima is the princess and she loves exploring the tunnels. She loves going on adventures and exploring areas that she hasn't been in before. Her favourite place to go is the danger zone, which sounds really fun. They're not supposed to go in the danger zone for obvious reasons. It's dangerous. People are prohibited from entering the danger zone, but no one explains what the supposed danger is, which is why Patima is very curious about it and she wants to explore. She's so curious that she can't hold herself back, and one day she goes to the danger zone and meets a boy there, and she, through meeting this boy, kind of finds out what the whole danger thing is about, and the story unfolds from there. Things I liked about this film were the fact that the concept is so unusual and so original. The fact that it's set in a town underground and you have no idea what the danger is of going outside the town. It's unlike any anime film that I've seen elsewhere. Yeah, the concept is just very interesting, and I like the bond that forms between the characters across the course of the film, between Patima and the boy that she meets. I can't say too much, but the progression of their relationship, I suppose, is very interesting to watch and see how it unfolds. The next film that I have on the list is Summer Wars, which came out in 2009 and is a comedy sci-fi film. To give you a bit of background on the story, I will explain. The film centres around this virtual world called Oz. Oz is just an augmented virtual reality system connected to the internet, which allows you to do pretty much everything you can do in real life on this system through avatars that you create. So you can do whatever you want on here. You can drive your car, you can go shopping, you can play sports, you can do anything on Oz that you can do in the real life. Oz possesses impenetrable security, ensuring that any data transmitted across the system is kept safe through its encryption, which means that society has become very reliant on Oz to protect their data and just for people to live out their daily lives. It's even become such a trusted system that it has been trusted to bring back this space shuttle. It's an asteroid explorer. So Oz is in charge of manning this spaceship, basically. Our main character is Kenji Koiso, who is a math genius and part-time Oz moderator. So he moderates Oz, he works on Oz, works on the coding. He's 17 years old, so he's still in high school, and this summer he gets invited by his crush to go on a summer trip with her. What he doesn't know is that his crush Natsuki Shinohara, is using him as someone to present to her family as her fiance. Shortly after arriving at Natsuki's family estate, Kenji receives a strange text message about cracking a code. The message is from an unknown sender and they want him to crack this code. Kenji manages to crack the code, but what he doesn't know is that the code is going to be used to corrupt and control Oz, the virtual world. And because Oz is in charge of bringing back this asteroid explorer spaceship, it has dire consequences for Earth, or it ends up being very dangerous for humanity on Earth. And that's all I'm gonna say. Things I liked about this film were the fact that the animation in the real world and the animation in Oz is very different, which makes sense because it makes it very obvious when they're in the real world and when they're in Oz. That's a good touch. I didn't really mention when I was explaining about the story, but a lot of the film focuses on Natsuki's family and the people that Kenji meets whilst he's staying on the estate over the summer. And lots of her family members are quite quirky, they're quite wacky characters, and it's just interesting to see their family dynamics. I like Kenji as a main character. Like, he's quite timid, quite awkward, quite relatable. Yeah, he's just a nice guy to follow through a story. Moving on to the next film that I have on my list, it is The Boy and the Bear, one of my favourite anime films. It's an adventure fantasy film and it came out in 2015. So to give you an outline of the story, it's set in two worlds, the human world and the beast realm. These two worlds must not intersect, but at the start of the story we see a lonely boy who has run away from his family. He's running around Shibuya on his own, and he gets found by two mysteriously cloaked characters, and he follows them into the beast realm. There he is renamed Cuter by one of the cloaked characters. This cloaked person turns out to be Kumatetsu, who is looking for a disciple to train. He wants to become the next leader of the beasts because the current leader is going to graduate into becoming a god. So he wants to fill the position, and to do that he needs disciples to train. Cuter becomes that person. However, there's controversy because Cuter is a human, not a beast. But the story unfolds, and it's just a lot about the relationship between Cuter and Kumatetsu, which is quite turbulent, but it's very interesting to see how it progresses. Also, throughout the story, Cuter kind of has to return to his human life. Well, he doesn't have to, but his human life kind of comes back into the story. Things I liked about this film were the character development and the progression of the relationships between each character. I love the character design as well, with the beasts having their animal features, but also at the same time looking humanistic. I love watching the relationship between Komutetsu and Kyuta unfold, and the fact that they both have to change to accommodate each other. It's very realistic and lifelike of how real life relationships work. And I like the fact that Kyuta goes back to his human life that he ran away from and reconnects with people. I won't say anymore. And last but not least, we have my all-time favorite anime film, Wolf Children. Wolf Children was released in 2012 and it is a fantasy slice of life story. Wolf Children centers around a woman called Hana. She is a college student who's studying, and one day she meets a mysterious man who isn't a college student, but he still wants to study. That's not important, I don't know why I'm saying that, but she meets a man, they fall in love, they have children, but sadly he dies not long after the second child is born. Now it turns out that this mysterious man is actually a wolf, so the children that are born are wolf children. The first child that's born is a girl, the second child that's born is a boy. And living in Tokyo is quite hard to raise children with it's quite hard to raise children anyway, but children with animal instincts and who change between human forms and wolf forms is also difficult. They are howling in the night, they are wrecking her apartment, she just can't handle it. So Hana decides to move them to the country, and it's just about their life in the country. The main chunk of the film is about them in this house in the countryside, and it's just about their life and Hana's struggles as a single mother, and yeah, as the children grow up, what paths they take in life. And I just think it's so sweet. I think it's such a beautiful film. I think it's a work of art. Highly recommend. Things I liked about the story are the fact that we get to see the parents' love stories. If a bit briefly, we get to see how the parents met and how their love blossomed. I like the animation style, like The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. It's quite simplistic but very effective. I like that at first it seems like the children are going to take certain paths in life, but they seemingly swap places. This doesn't really make sense if you haven't seen the film, but if you haven't seen the film, what are you doing? Go watch the film and then you'll understand what I mean. And I also like the romantic element that kind of comes in later to do with the daughter, but I'm not going to say anything more because I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, that was my list of my favourite anime films. Hope you enjoyed, hope you agreed with some of my choices. If you have any anime recommendations, anime film recommendations specifically, leave them below in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye!
나만의 꿀단지죠. 어제 보고 또 오늘 보고 내일 또 볼 것이 그런 모래도 봐. 각자 끼고 싶어. 지금 너와 손만 잡고 싶어. 기분 좋은 집착 온종일 네 생각 가끔은 꿈이 아닌가 싶어.